Doodle people will come and say, don't poodle my Doodle. And Poodle people will say, don't doodle my Poodle. And I'm like, I don't know what that, like, you just tell me what you want and I will do it.
Welcome back to How Much Can I Make? I'm your host, Mira Avoseri. Ever wonder what it's like to make a living pampering pups? Today, I'm chatting with Sarah Gildersleeve, a dog groomer of many years who turned her love to animals into a full-time successful career. So let's dive right in and hear from Sarah what dog grooming business is all about. Thank you very much for willing to share your experience with us.
Absolutely. I'm happy to be here.
Tell me, what inspired you and how long ago to become a dog groomer?
So I wanted to work with animals my whole life growing up. I really had thought about being a vet or a marine biologist. And then my mom's boyfriend at the time actually put it into my head to think about grooming. And I went and visited a groomer. And then I realized the steps that I had to take in order to become a groomer. And it kind of just changed my path a little bit.
So how long ago was that?
20 years.
Oh, wow.
So it'll be 20 years in June, so I'm almost there. I was 25. I'll be 45 in June.
Do you need any kind of certificate or special license?
So unfortunately, in New York State, you don't need anything right now. I'm on a grooming association, and I'm on the New York Associated Dog Clubs, and we're trying to work with legislatures to establish some kind of licensing or certificate program because right now, anybody could wake up tomorrow and call themselves a groomer. And that's dangerous for pets.
Absolutely. What is the best way for a beginner to get into
Find
the business?
a mentor. Go into a grooming shop and say, I want to be a groomer, and they'll probably give you a job as a bather. Bathing and drying, learning that is like 50% of doing a good job on a groom on a dog.
So this is exactly what I want to hear about. What is a typical day for you?
A typical day starts at 8:30, somewhere around there. First client comes in at 8:30, and then the next one 9, and then 9:30, and it's just kind of, it rolls along. And my bather will get the first dog in the tub, and I'll finish doing what I have to do paperwork wise. But then it just is kind of like a system, a routine.
What kind of services mostly do you provide?
Bath, nails, and haircuts. Mostly. I mean, that's really it. I will have somebody that comes by just to get their dog's nails trimmed on, a lab or something. Every now and then you'll have somebody that needs to just have their eyes trimmed in between a groom. But mostly people are coming in to get their full groom.
How do you handle aggressive dogs?
You need to be able to read a dog. And I think it takes a little time to learn that skill. You're not just born with that. And you need to be very calm and assertive and confident in your own demeanor towards a dog, because anything that you put out, the dog picks up. Like I always say in training, however you're walking through life with your dog on that leash, it will go right down the leash and into the dog.
Did you go through a dog training workshop?
I took a 6-month certificate program, and it was online. So I took all the testing online, but there was no hands-on. So then I got an internship and worked for free all summer long. And she threw me right in there and said, here's a poodle, do some poodle feet. And that was my first, I'll never forget that. I had no idea how to do poodle feet, but I do now, but
is there a certain kind of dog that is your favorite to work on?
Besides from Airedales? I love a standard poodle. I love the transformation that you can make, and you can do so many different trims on a standard poodle. Their hair, if you have a poodle with good hair, you can do, it's limitless. You can do just about anything. I do a lot of hand stripping, which is pulling hair out of mainly Terriers. You do a little bit on other dogs, but mainly Terriers. It's pulling the hairs out, which is how I groom my Airedales for show. I love doing that because the transformation. I just had a Border Terrier the other day, and it goes from being this wild, crazy to very trimmed and sleek and beautiful. I love that.
You mentioned you did a show dog. Is it different?
It's very different. So I have Airedales, and it takes me about 10 hours to get her into a show coat a week, and to keep her in coat. Whereas if I'm trimming an Airedale, a pet Airedale, and I'm clipping that Airedale, it's like a 2.5 hour job maybe. So it's very different.
Takes you 10 hours?
Yeah.
Why?
Because you're pulling hairs on Airedales and many Terriers to show them. And that keeps the coat structure intact. It keeps the color and the texture, which is what you have to have in order to show them.
And you learned all that on the job?
And I learned all that through a mentor. My mentor taught me all of that and gave me my first show dog. So.
And it doesn't hurt the dog when you pull the hair?
No, because you lose the root ball on the end of it. Like when you pull when you wax your eyebrows, if you keep doing it and keep doing it, it gets easier to do it each and every time. It's the same kind of thing.
Is there any high season for grooming?
Christmas is usually crazy. Right before Thanksgiving is nutty. And then, springtime. It's like the springtime shave down. Everybody lets their dogs go all winter because it gets cold and they think they should let them grow all this coat. And then, March or April comes and it's mud season. And now they have these hot messes of a dog and they need to, clean it up.
I can understand that, but why Christmas?
For me, I think everybody has to have, when they're having people over, family over, or they're going somewhere, they have to have this beautiful dog.
What's the craziest client you have? What demands do they have?
Eyelashes are huge. Don't trim their eyelashes. It can be great if you can see them. And if you can't, then it's a totally other thing. Doing poodle feet on like a schnauzer. That stuff kills me. Doing the Doodle owners, and I know I might get some pushback for that, but Doodle people will come and say, don't poodle my Doodle, and Poodle people will say, don't doodle my Poodle, and I'm like, I don't know what that, you just tell me what you want and I will do it, but I don't. So there's some funny things. There's some really fun things as well, though.
Would you say there is a trend in grooming?
Yeah, you can definitely get into a trend. Like right now with all these Doodles, and there's many different kinds. They're making Bernedoodles and Sheepadoodles down to, a Labradoodle. And everybody's got the same quest of like this, I want this Doodle looking dog.
That's funny. Okay, let's talk about money. How much can a dog groomer make?
So I think when you first start out, you're kind of working really, really, really hard for not a lot. And, and as a bather, I think that's probably between $15 and $20 is what a bather is making, I think, right now. I think there's places out there where they do commission. So if there's, you're getting a 50% commission, and if you're doing a dog for $100 and it takes you 2 hours.
What is usually the charge to groom a dog?
I think in this, it varies. In this location, I think you can probably expect to pay for a small dog somewhere around $75 to $80. I think it goes up to a larger Doodle type dog of, upwards of like $200. But you got to think about, at $75, it's an hour and 20 minutes. It takes me about an hour and 20 minutes, hour and a half to groom that dog. So if you break that into hourly, and then you have to pay your bather, then you have to pay your taxes, and then you have to pay your electric bill, and then that goes into it. So you have to know your worth.
You make more money on grooming a show dog, right?
No, not really.
No,
because I groom my own show dogs, and I don't get paid for that. And, I still am charging a certain amount for grooming a show dog, but they're coming to me much more regular. To keep an Airedale and coat, if they're coming to me every other week, or to keep, even a smaller dog, it's still the same. It's not necessarily more money. It's just, it's a little easier because they're coming so regularly and they're so used to it.
How often do people come to groom their dog?
Every 4 to 6 weeks.
So you mentioned that beginners will start with a minimum wage. How much can they grow? What is the potential? You could grow your business as much as you want. You could go out and get this really high upscale, especially in this area, this upscale salon, and you could line 5 tables in there and hire groomers and just manage your salon. You could potentially make a lot of money, or you could stay small. What happens if somebody comes and they don't like the haircut you gave?
I'll fix it. However I can make somebody happy, I would rather make them happy. To a certain point. You have some people that are like a little over the top, and you're never going to make them happy.
Do you have a story like that?
Oh, I do. I have this one little poodle lady. She had gone around from groomer to groomer to groomer, and I had groomed her dog. I've worked at 2 different salons in this town, and I groomed the same dog in both of those salons over the course of like 3 or 4 years. And she came to me here, and she was like telling me how to groom the dog, and then she would take the scissors and move my scissors away as I'm trying to groom the dog's, she was a lot, and I had to let her go.
Do people come to you with photographs of a dog?
All the time. And I want that, give me an idea. And I can explain to them how realistic that is or not nicely. You know, I mean, if you're bringing me a picture of a puppy and your dog is 10, we have two totally different hairs. You know, we have to kind of compromise on something.
Do you have to get some sort of insurance because you're dealing scissors and somebody can get hurt?
I carry a liability insurance. I don't know if you need to do that if you're working for compensation for if somebody's, you know, sharing their profit with you. I don't know if they carry the insurance or if you carry your own.
Is it good to specialize in a specific breed?
I think so. I think you should get good. Like, I'm known as the Terrier lady. People come to me with their Terriers from Canada and from the bottom of New Jersey and from, you know,
that's a long way away.
It is. People travel from New York City with their Terriers up here, and people travel to go
crazy.
because people are crazy. But if you know, say somebody knows how to do a standard poodle perfectly, they will travel for that. You know, it's like they're kids. Right. It really is.
What's the surprising thing about your business that people don't know?
That it's probably one of the dirtiest jobs. I mean, it really is. You know, people, they think like you sit there and you play with puppies and you have this great life. And then they don't realize like the dog next to you just puked in its crate and the other one had explosive diarrhea and you've been peed on today. It can be really gross. I could go on further, but I'm not going to. I mean, I'm just a glorified pooper picker-upper sometimes, you know, it's like... and then you step in it and you're like, oh, it's just good luck. You know, you just got to laugh it off. But, you know, people think it's like this great, you know, you just get to play with dogs, and it's just not.
And have you ever got bitten by a dog?
Oh, yes. I got bit on my finger, and it was all black and blue. It finally just peeled off. But
is the owner responsible for that? Or?
No, it's part of the job. I mean, yeah, it's just it's a hazard. You're going to get bit.
Is there a physical demand?
So I don't sit down all day pretty much. You're walking around, you know, walking around your table. I mean, I've had carpal tunnel surgery from holding scissors.
Really?
I have half a bicep tear right now because I picked up something, but it's because I had bicep tendonitis probably from hand stripping and brushing out a long-haired dog. So physically demanding.
Yeah, sounds very demanding. So let's talk about reward. What is the most rewarding thing about your job?
Watching them walk out like they're all that in a bag of chips. And watching, I've had owners come back, and especially like a first-time groom on a puppy, and their owners come back to get their dog and they cry.
Wow.
You know, when somebody says, you know, even just like gives you a shout out on Facebook and say, I have this amazing groomer. I mean, it's the little thank yous. It's because it's a thankless job for the most part. But when people take a minute and really say, you know, we appreciate you and thank you for taking care. When a dog passes and they send you a little email or a note just saying thanks for taking care of Buddy for the last, you know, 15 years or whatever. It's, you know, it's moments like that really make it.
So if you go down the street and you see one of the dogs you worked on, you recognize immediately?
Yeah. I usually recognize the dog before I recognize the person.
I have one more question. You
Sure.
mentioned before you put them on the table. So just describe to me. You have a sink to wash the dog.
Yeah. I have a big sink. It's a sink that it's electric, so it goes up and down so that I can have a big dog walk in. And then I can raise it up, or I just, you know, it's raised and you lift a little dog. And then I have the same kind of table. I have a big 4-foot long table that goes all the way down to the ground and comes all the way up, all the way back up.
Makes it a lot easier.
Makes it a lot easier. It makes you able to do a big dog by yourself, because otherwise you need 2 people to help lift up a big dog.
So how many dogs you can do a day?
I mean, I've done as many as 10 recently.
Wow.
I try and keep it to like 6 though. 6 clips. Yeah.
Fantastic. And that's kind of a job. AI is not threatening your job at all.
I would love to see a robot groom my 18-year-old cockapoo. I mean, I would love to see that. It's, you know, it's pretty recession-proof. It's pretty, people will stop getting their hair done as much, but they'll still get, you know, maybe they'll stretch it like an extra week, but they're not going to not come.
Did it happen to you that somebody groomed their dog at home and it was awful and they came to you and said, please help?
Oh, yeah. Oh, all the time. Oh, you should see what. So I have this one lady. She has 2 Old English sheepdogs and 2 Yorkies, and she brings them to me every single time. She's like, I just cleaned it up a little bit. And she like gave him like a flat top on top. And she's like, can you fix it? And I'm like, I can't. I mean, I got to glue hair back. I don't know how to fix that, but I'll try, you know. Oh, every time. She does it every single time to me. And I tell her, and we have a good working relationship. And so I can tell her all the time, like, I'm going to come take your scissors away. Because there was nothing wrong until you did that.
People think it's easy, but it's not.
It's not. Dogs move. You know, dogs are so unpredictable. You know, and it happens. I mean, mistakes happen. I used to have this little Yorkie, again, and it would lick all the time. And so as you're trying to, you know, clean by the face and trim by the face, you'd have to like just pray to the scissor gods that you didn't chop his tongue off. And Groomer before me did it because he had 2 little nicks in his tongue, and I did it once, you know. It's horrible. You feel horrible. You don't want to hurt a dog. That's not why we're here, you know.
How many years have you been doing it?
20. This is my 20th year.
And you still love it?
I still love it. I do. I still love it. There's some days where I'm a little more tired. You know, there's some days where I'm like, I have a little less patience, and you just kind of got to take a step back. But I love every single dog that comes in here. They're good.
Is there a dog that you will not accept?
Yeah, the big argumentative ones, like, so because I have 4 herniated discs as well, so I'm not lifting up big St. Bernards, and I'm not doing Great Danes, and I just can't. I can't, like, there's plenty of 25-year-old groomers that would love to do that.
Do people ever come with German Shepherd?
All the time.
Really?
I love them. They're just big babies. They're great.
Wow.
I have one right down the street. He comes to me just about every 5 weeks or so. And a big tall guy, and he walks in with a German Shepherd, and he gets on the table and he whines and cries the whole time. He's the biggest baby ever. Biggest baby. He's great though.
Wow, I didn't think that they get groomed. So every dog gets groomed.
Every dog needs their nails cut and their ears cleaned. You know, whether they are short-haired or long-haired, they still need to get their nails clipped.
How often do you recommend for them to get bathed?
I think you can give a dog a bath every time you think it's getting smelly. With a good shampoo and conditioner, you're not going to dry out coat. You're not gonna hurt them. Yeah.
Well, Sarah, I can't thank you enough.
I could talk about dog grooming forever. It's bad.
That's how much you love it.
Yeah.
That is great when you love your job.
Because you don't really work a day in your life.
That's fantastic. Okay, that's a wrap for today. If you have a comment or question or would like us to cover a certain job, please let us know. Visit our website at howmuchcanimake.info. We would love to hear from you. And on your way out, don't forget to subscribe and share this episode with anyone who is curious about their next job. See you next time.